Well, hello and welcome tonight to the UK Skate Live show with Thomas ESK8 Nomad, and as always, Silence stuck in the corner. How you doing, Thomas Bro? You alright?
Yeah, good man. I'm really grateful to be on the stream. It's nice to see regular podcasts in the Eastgate scene again. I feel like we've been lacking for a while, so praise to you guys keeping up with keeping the entertainment rolling. Someone who creates content, does live streams as well. I know how much time it takes for planning and getting everyone together, so I appreciate you having me on board. So thank you very much. I'm glad to be here.
We appreciate having you here. So, what have you been up to lately, Thomas? I've seen you in the States a lot lately, riding, testing boards.
Yeah, so I went over to New Jersey, hang out with one of my best friends, Drew Ely, out there, hanging out with him, featuring a load of new exciting content. So that's kind of, as you guys know, sometimes difficult to get in the UK. Featuring a few new products and going to a few events. I'm planning to go to the PV France event. Can't remember what it's called top of my head, but I'm planning to go there on the 20th. So if you guys are watching, hope to see you guys there. If you guys are coming down, and yeah, just being kind of had a bit of a culture shock being in America for 6 weeks, doing all some amazing adventures, and then coming back to realise that UK is absolutely covered in rain all day, every day, as you're aware.
Oh man, so 6 weeks, that's a long time in the States, isn't it?
Oh,
Was
it's an
that
amazing time.
in one sort of block of time? Or did you go
Yeah,
back
so I
and
was there for
forth?
one chunk. I mostly stayed to New Jersey. I went to New York a little bit, and also went to Washington DC, which was really good actually. That was a really good time actually. It's when there was that fear mongering stuff with Trump saying the military's on the streets. But I tell you now, we guys were was partying in the streets. If you check out my video or Drew's video for the coverage, we're just cruising with like 1,000 cyclists, blow up like blasting music down the streets, having a great communal time. So it's really great. Everyone like what you see in the news, the media doesn't always reflect the people. So it's really great to see the uh, the true essence of like what people in DC are really like, less than what you see on the news outlets.
Yeah, it looked like a vibe. I followed some of that. Were you trying out some Meepos when you were out there? Did I see on the one
Yeah, so
video?
yeah, I met up with Eric, who actually this is one thing I don't think is announced too much.
Shred
We've talked about a little
lights.
bit. Yeah, yeah. So Eric, one of the founding members of the team for Shred Lights, has joined Meepo. He's now sold the business to Meepo, so now he's the official media rep for Meepo boards, which is really great to see because he was talking a lot about things that are necessarily not done right in the Eastgate scene with influencers, content creators, and working with like improving the standard um, in the Eastgate scene for people who are growing the sport specifically. He's saying, so the problem we have with a lot of content creators is you send them on the board, they do the content, and that's it. That's all they can really do. There's no real incentive to keep going. And one thing I think that is really great, and guys who are watching the stream, if you are a content creator and you are about doing things in your community, you should know about is that Meepo, based on what Eric is influencing, is actually trying to look for paid work in the Eastgate scene. Not like send you a board and that's all you off you go, but actually send you that board and actually saying if you do photography, you do videography, and you continue making content, then Meepo will be prepared to help fund that as you should be for your time and your effort and your work. There's different tiers and what it is. So obviously, if you're up and coming and you're just getting the sport and it's more of a passion project, less than a professional piece, there's scope for you as well. So if you're just like a vlogger and you're taking your phone out, taking photos, there's a place for you there as well. Or if you're a professional kind of videographer, photographer, there's a more of a higher tier for you. So it's one thing that Eric's trying to do, which I think is excellent about having the continuous support. So getting people on board, sending them product, you make the content until you've kind of worked off what that is worth, which I think is great. But then once that's been done, continually keeping you on board and then paying you directly to continue to make content. I think the standard formula of sending people boards and then that's the end of it is a failed formula. Last thing you want to do is do your work, do your content, and then deal with Facebook Marketplace trying to get your payday, whatever that looks like. So some really big things going on in Meepo recently. So doing some of the group rides out there, like with all the different boards, like like this. I said it before, seeing the Meepo MLR for the price of it, you can compete on a competitive level. Coming from Meepo, I think is unheard of. Like you, James, and also Suki, both of you have been in the scene for a very, very long time. You will know like the standard of what Meepo have done in the last 2 years specifically. The standard of what they've made is absolutely outstanding nowadays. It's not gone from like a budget product to more of an accessible product. You can buy a full race board from Meepo at an accessible price and then compete on the world stage with that board. So I think Meepo's got some really bright things in the future going forward.
That board has podium, doesn't it? So it's proved it's competitive.
Oh yeah, definitely. There's definitely
Yeah.
been on the podiums all over the place. Even
Yeah.
and then obviously, I think it'd be great to see local communities as well, kind of buying these boards and then developing their own like race leagues. So I think it'd be great to see internationally little pockets of race leagues popping up with having these boards come out. So man, you all right? Craig, Wolfpack.
Great, good day. Yeah, this is an interesting point that you mentioned. She's been working on a platform where e-skate riders and brands can find each other for e-skate jobs. So
Well,
going about a slightly different way to the Meepo way, maybe, but trying to achieve similar goals. I think she was talking about standardizing the reviews of boards. So there'd be a group of riders who would test different boards and to kind of give their honest opinions, and the
I think we've
standardize.
kind of been like I feel like the Eastgate content, especially in the reviewers nowadays, has been a bit like the Wild West for too long. People coming and going, getting a product, doing whatever they want, and go from there, which is great, and it's great to get someone cutting out stuff out there. But one thing I've been speaking to the Wolfpack with, and some other content creators as well, it's standardizing content is really important for businesses as well. One thing that me and Drew talk about all the time, and Fred Eastgate Unity, is I'm getting frustrated with companies have the wall pulled over their eyes with content creators. There's people out there who are obviously paying for views, subscriptions, and stuff like subscribers and stuff like that. And then they'll go to a brand and say, "Look, we can make all this content for you. This is my audience," and it's all fake and it's all bollocks. And it's really bad to like cheat these companies. So like people who are up and coming or established who are trying to reach these companies to make content for them, it's much harder because that kind of trust has now been broken. Like for example, as Zayn is doing content as well, and getting yourself out there is really difficult, especially in the early days. So people who are passionate about this are almost being gatekept because of these other content creators who get sent products and they'll do nothing, or they'll fakery going out. So I think there needs to be a standardized thing. Good. And I'm glad that's kind of the idea of putting it together like a group where companies know that the people in this group can be trusted and supported and recommendations being put out there. One thing we said, me and Drew said about this the other day, is having from our side of things a contract, not just from the company's perspective, but from us as well. So when they come to us and say, "Want to review a product," we send something back in which says, like, in the space of whatever the time scale is, you expect to see photos, full coverage of the board, content. This is what you expect as a minimum. And you have the rights to that footage as well. So I think standardizing the content is really, really important. Instead of people just kind of doing it off their own cuff and then companies hoping you make content for them is not good. So one thing that me and some of the guys are trying to talk about is trying to have both sides of the coin, not just companies sending stuff and here's what you expect, actually what we expect for you. Because we had some things going on in the States where I'm not going to name brands, but they were sending boards to me and Drew to feature. And then after we'd made it, it'd be like, "Okay, we want it back now." And like, that's fine, but this wasn't part of the agreement, and we need to standardize that and have the understanding that we're trying to promote your brand, but also this takes our time, our effort, our audience, our energy, and it makes us. One thing I found as well, it makes you not want to put as much effort in, knowing that you feel almost cheated with expected to do things for nothing. I love this because I'm passionate about it, but now it's pretty much a job, and it allows me to do so much more. Like, see you guys, going to France, going to the States. Only this is possible for years of effort. So I think standardizing it for everyone helps everyone, especially it's including the audience and the customers. So when people are watching our content, they know that it's not just off the cuff, off you go, next thing. It's actually a passion product. We're trying to improve that standard. So I'm great to see that more company that you guys are doing that, especially given those companies that trust that there's an improvement in the standard of what's out there in the Eastgate community.
Sure. So France, you mentioned. What's the plan out there? You going on? Is it Saturday? We might have frozen. The Saturday I was asking about France. Is it a weekend event or what's the situation?
Yeah, so it's a Saturday Sunday event. From what I know so far, it's very much. Hey, Drew. Hey, Benny's in here as well. Let's go. My boys are in here. Let's go. So the weekend event is community for the community, which is really the only way people are doing stuff. People hate on Evolve sometimes, but they were the only companies actually hosting and making events back in the day. And I feel like the community has suffered from negative backlashes of these events going forward. Yes, there could have been things done better, but the only way these things happen is by the community. A bit like ESK8 The reason why it's possible is because the riders and the community and the companies putting the bucks behind it to make sure it happens. So the weekend event is basically the European racers putting on an event so they compete fundamentally, as well as doing some group rides and event as well. So it's a bit inclusive. It's not just about racing. I think it's really important. Like racing is a good tool to get everyone together, but it shouldn't really be the be all and end all. I think it's the glue that brings everyone together. So it's mostly about group rides, bringing everyone together. And there's a few companies going as well, which is great to see. But yeah, it'd be great to see what the European League is going. What improves the standard from here. I said this in a competitive status with a bit like football. We've got the FA League, which is a very diverse football league with all different nationalities going in. And this isn't about segregation; it's about improving the standard of British or European or whoever standard. So us having a European event improves the standard of European riders. So when we go to like the States and we compete, we know we're coming out guns blazing. Um, um, we come out guns blazing, improving the standard of what we're doing. So I think the only way that we all benefit as a community is with these events and these community races, because like even now, like with, for example, the MLR, a commercial race ball is only available because the race league's been out of there. And with ESK8 collaborating with Mo Stooge and the Meepo coming together, this is only possible because these community events. So this pushes the things going forward. Hey, we've got Fred as well. Everybody here. Let's go.
MLR's making me think of the latest Lin Power board we were chatting about earlier for some reason.
Yeah. We actually, that seems to be the only board commercially. And I think EV Tech Stevens kind of done it really well, which is putting those two things against each other. But once again, I think they're close enough to compete, but I don't think they're close enough necessarily to compare. Like the MLR is not something you could take to work with you, but you could take it to the racetrack, and it is the dedicated race board out of the two. But the one definitely competes and performs excellent. But with the one as well, that's something you could use more than just going to the racetrack event. I say now, I swear that the Limpao, the one, is probably for me the board of the year so far. That thing coming out of nowhere from the Limpao team shows that like people in China are not playing. Like they're coming out and they're swinging with something that's not just good for, let's say, for racing or even commuting. It's actually good for living with. It's a compact size. It's when I have to be really careful when I say affordable for $2,000. It's comparative, but for $2,000 versus like a $5,000 DIY build, it's not even a conversation worth saying.
You can compare it. You can compare it to $2,000 sort of Diablo, really, can't you? It's in that price range.
That's what I said to you before.
18S4P for the same money. You know, is there any?
Well, even like well, that's the thing. Like I even made it quite simple as part of my review. The Lacroix Nazare Super Sport, which was like the pinnacle of like commercial power, it has the same battery configuration, and now you can buy that. Like I think the Nazare Super Sport was like 3,000, 3,500 when that came out, roughly, maybe even more. I can't really remember. And obviously they're relaunching it, but like that in a form factor that's smaller,
so small,
it's just insane.
Yeah.
Oh, it's insane! It's insane.
Yeah, looks a very good board, very exciting, multi-purpose, as you say.
Mm-hmm.
ESK8 we were touching on earlier, wasn't I? I remember the European races did quite well out there last year.
Oh yeah, and I think that's my biggest thing. When I went to ESK8, that was my biggest excitement for ESK8. Not just going there and seeing the world's best, but see what pockets are doing differently. Like when I first got into ESK8, it was very much like the Americans were focused on speed. the Australians were at that time focusing on style with like carving and stuff like that, and UK were like dirt and off road, and it's really great to see little pockets. And I've always wanted like the Tramper team riders or the MBS team now going forward with Eamon competing at somewhere like ESK8 I remember I proposed that pitch to you, James, about having a race, a true AT race, not an off-road race, but a full all-terrain race where you have like a car park or a racetrack on tarmac, and then that slips onto grass, and then that slips onto dirt with a pump track, and then whips right back down back onto tarmac. That would be the sickest race, because the board on there would have to be dynamic enough to cover all the bases, and one board wouldn't be strong enough. And I think that would be the ultimate e-skate race for me personally. I think that'd be so sick.
It'd be a great spectacle, wouldn't it? I'd like to see that as well, personally, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
Because some people do complain, people just going around very quick on flat tracks isn't overtaking, I guess you want to see, and then jumps.
Well, exactly. That's what I think what we do in the European League very, very well, because obviously you don't have the infrastructure. The States have big open spaces. Having technical go-kart tracks means that we're very more technical, carvy, nimble riders than high-speed adrenaline junkies. Yes, we send it and we go really, really quickly, but actually having a board that is designed for a range of different things is the way to go. And having these tracks where in Europe they're very small, they're technical, and in America they're very long and straight. So having something a bit of both here says that in Europe we're coming for you on the corners, in the States we're going there for the high end speed. So everything has its own place, and that was my biggest thing about ESK8, about seeing who's doing what in different areas.
Yeah, fun, exciting times. I don't even imagine where it's going to end up. It's going to be fun to see how it goes. Suki saying here. Testing some trains. Yeah, so it seems to be a recurring theme. People want to see that. And I guess to reflect more, most people real world riding, group rides, varied terrains. It's not always about racing and the quickest. It's about having fun at the end of the day, isn't it?
It is, and I think, like I say, having a dynamic track would be such a cool thing to see, where, like, for example, imagine a hybrid of ESK8 the intro to speed, and then Bugs Boarding, just like mushing into this ultimate event. It'd be amazing.
Yeah, it would. We had a ped event at Bugs Boarding just a couple of weeks ago, keeping it alive after the EBIT days.
That's sick. So, yeah, I don't. What actually? Do you know any updates with EBIT? Is that completely done? And also, I think I saw something with Andy going down recently. Do you know much about that, James? You probably know more about that than me. I've not kept tabs on that.
Yeah. So we had the couple of years of EBIT. Then there was a year missing last year. No EBIT at Bugs, but put on an event this year, a multi-ped event. So we had EUC, a lot of trikes representing. That was one of the big ones. Everyone I know is building trikes at the moment.
Yeah, John like a wildcard event. Mr. Davies, love that, man.
Yeah, and everyone I know at the moment is kind of repurposing their e-skate parts they've got to make trikes, you know. And got everyone racing together at the end. So we had the winner of the e-skate was Eamon, who we mentioned earlier. On a trike we had Biren.
Oh, Biren! Oh my god!
You used to ride Apex, didn't you? If you remember back in the day.
Yeah. I think he was. To be honest, I think like people like Aim. So Biren reminds me of from Radium, a bit like I can't remember his name. He was a skater boy. I can't remember his name right now. Oh my god!
I know you're talking about
Dylan.
Yeah, Dylan Dress.
I think having riders like Dylan, Biren, Eamon, who just completely like mush what traditional riding is so good for a race track. When Dylan came to ESK8 and saw a guy going sideways at like 40 miles an hour on the Radium, it added such a dynamic to races. And I think for me, I keep saying this now and now again, anything that breaks a norm and the tradition of what's happening now is super exciting. And I think Drew's a good point. He's currently featuring the MBS on his channel, so if you want coverage from that, go check out Drew's channel.
I'm excited to see Drew in bindings. I've seen a few clips of it.
I've been moaning at you. I know you're watching this at home, Drew. I know you're watching this with the kids. I want to see. You better be doing. I had a moan at the other day. I was like, you need to set your MBS to full acceleration and full braking, heel straps and toes. Just do it properly. You tell me, James. Like it's worth doing it from day one to make you a better off-road rider, isn't it? For sure.
Got so much more control is my take on it with full bindings with the heels. Yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
definitely build up to it, Drew, and yeah, enjoy it, my friend. Off-road adventures. It opens up a whole new world of riding when you can ride any terrain.
Yeah,
From
yeah. I think
yeah,
that's what I think is what
probably.
really exciting, for sure.
Yeah, so we had all the pairs then that you. Here we go, right free mode. Here. Well, whatever you enjoy. Yeah, it was good getting all the different pevs against each other, you know? One wheel, EUC, skate, trike. Yeah, so that was fun at close boarding. Hoping to do the same again next year. September the 11th is the early date. We've got penciled in for that if you want to come, Thomas, next year.
What's that for next
September
year?
the 11th, the Bugs Boarding All Terrain.
Oh. Yeah,
Trying to
sweet. Let's
keep that
go.
alive.
Yeah, that's sick. I
And
can't wait.
another event we got coming up in the UK, the Wealdon Centre. Do you remember Evolve did the US Open back there,
Yeah.
2019? Yeah,
Yeah.
we're going back there this winter when the rain starts happening in the UK, sort of October, November time.
Let me just answer this quick question about the nickel eyes. This is kind of a bit of an interesting one. This is one that he recommended to me too. It's actually kind of like a new kind of not necessarily known about ESK8 brand that is more about like breaking the norm. It's like it's called. Have you do you know anything about this board, James? It's amazing. The Nickel Eyes. So
No, I don't.
the company's called Nickel Eyes, and the board is called the Pigeon. That's the board, right? It's an e-board. I'll get it
Oh,
for. Let me get it for Suki.
that's right. Yeah, and ride everything, brother.
Yeah, that's. I'll put it in the chat now. I'm going to be featuring this board at some point on the channel. So please, yeah, I'll put it here for you, Suki. You can put it in the channel. Oh, mate, Drew, come over for
Come
Bugs
on over,
boarding.
Drew.
Yes,
You'll
yes.
love it, my friend. Got a year to
Um,
practice.
yeah,
We had It's the only
yeah. So
place I've actually seen it's the only place I've seen the MBS board in the UK is at
it's
Bugs
so.
Boarding.
You tell me, James, where in the world would you need that board to be featured? Like with the best ride, I like. We don't have huge amounts of stuff going for us in the UK, but I like to say we've got the best riders in the world for electric mountain boarding in the UK for sure. That board at Bug, imagine bringing that to. You say it's a Bugs boarding, but imagine if it was a demo board to be like, guys, try this board. Tell me what you think. It would take off. It would absolutely take off. But let me just close this thing about this board.
Sure.
This is this really kind of different board. It's called the Pigeon. Yeah, it's well weird. It's got like feathers on it. If you scroll down a little bit for me, Suki, if you don't mind, it glows as well. You can have 80. It is a bit pricey. I'm not going to lie, but it's a very independent company. But this is one that's got like full RGB. And you know what? Fundamentally, James, it's fun. It's a fun board that's come out, and I think that anything that breaks the norm, that is not the same thing again and again. Yeah, this copy and paste structure. This thing is fun. Comes with app support. It's cool, man. This thing is fun. I'm looking forward to featuring this thing at some point.
So which country is this coming out of? Who's behind
this is actually, I think it's in Florida, if I remember. This is made in Florida in the States. So it's a very small company. There's not many of them coming out, but it's something different. And I was thinking, I'm gonna ask the audience here. I really want to do a video of this board. Like every board has a story, and I was thinking of getting like a pigeon costume and flying around, going around with like a pigeon mask and being like the pigeon Nikolai, just for fun, you know? It'd be so funny.
That'd be fun to see.
Yeah.
I'm getting Halloween vibes. I don't know why, but
maybe, yeah. If it comes in time, I could do the London iBike ride as a pigeon on the Nikolai. I think that'd be quite funny. But yeah, it's something different. I think that's what it is. We like you tell me, James. When we first
I've got another question for you now. What about getting Drew? Has Drew been over to visit the UK yet?
No, he hasn't.
You can get him over this way.
Yeah, he's desperate. He's got a lot of projects on at the moment, and it's just availability. One thing that people don't realise is, family man. He's got 2 children, a loving partner. It's not as easy as it's just like myself, just to come over with a bit more flexibility. It's quite hard for him to travel around, but he is very, very keen to come over. Maybe Bugs Boarding might be the goal for you, Drew, to come over. Those lights are sick. Do you know what's interesting? There's like loads of different versions. They glow, but they also are customizables. You can actually customize the colors to make them preferable to however you want. So that's actually, like I say, something fresh, something different, breaks the norm out of what's coming out. And I said to Drew about this the other day. We're so bored of reviewing another 12S 2P longboard again and again and again. You know, it's just we've done that, and I think having something different out of the norm is great. But that is a really cool board. But yeah, we have to. Drew, he definitely wants to come over at some point. He's got to make it happen at some point.
We'll be look forward to welcome you, Drew.
Got to get camping as well. Remember, people don't realise you're not staying in a hotel; you're staying in a tent for that weekend. Yeah.
Think of Glastonbury, isn't it? Glastonbury with all-terrain e-skate.
It'll be sometime next year. Yeah. Oh yeah, it'd be sick.
September 11th. And then Wealdon Centre, as I was saying, the old where Evolve had the open. And again, we're opening that up to all PEVs. Now, this seems to be the thing we're doing now, having separate categories. The e-skate, trike, one-wheel EUC, and then the winner of each category competing at the same time, racing together on the same track.
So, see if I can find this in the back. I've got it here, actually. I'm used to the whole kind of working behind the scenes. So, okay, here's the event that Evolve did. So whack that up for us. So this is the thing. And good great event for like camping as well, because actually have decent living in there if you get one of the rooms, right? If you are lucky enough to get one of the rooms for the event or sleeping outside.
It's like luxury in comparison to the tent, isn't it?
Oh yeah, but it's his own little thing.
I think that's where I first met you, actually, Thomas, back in 2019.
Yeah, that was my first event,
yeah, in the GTX days, wasn't it? With the
did you
have the gold motor one?
No, I didn't have the GX. I had a GTR carbon, but I actually lit mine up. That was my little novelty that I had. I put LEDs on it. But that was a bit of that was one of the last humble events, I would say, that I know about in the e-skate scene. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can share it too. Oh, okay. Virtual access. Ooh. How do I share? I don't do this. I don't use the software. No, I don't know how to do it. Sorry, Zuki, don't know how to share. There we go.
Oh, yeah, this
event was sick. The Trample guys were like, send it, but they were too bloody arrogant on this event, thinking that they would just coast through it. That was such a cool event.
I remember seeing them sort of doubling the jumps, you know, and just being blown away by the guy strapped in and just jumping over the obstacles. You know? This was the guy who actually won it, wasn't it, on the four-wheel drive board?
Yeah, I can't remember his name.
The young Aussie guy, wasn't he?
Yeah, but he'd been in e-skate since day one Evolve. Like, he'd been riding for Evolve since like they first came about. That's why he was so good. But he's a good rider.
Heck of a rider. Yeah, heck of a rider he was.
Oh yeah, but I would love to send him against Eamon.
There was some backlash at the time that people couldn't actually buy the board, could they? It wasn't a production Evolve. It was a four-wheel drive.
Yeah, they made a mistake on that event by having it come into the event on boards that they didn't sell, and I think that's one of the, in my opinion, I think that's one of the things that Evolve don't do well is masking their product. And to be honest, I think it shows a bit of insecurity with your product. If you're turning up to events with a board that you don't sell, that's fine, but don't turn up to an event that no one can buy your board, because it's almost like you don't show confidence in your product. Like Tramper, you could buy that board. What was I can't remember what the one that I can't remember his name. Oh, who was on there was another board, wasn't there? You know, the one that I can't remember the guy's name now. He's kind of gone off the radar a little bit in the UK.
The big you talking about the big suspension boards, the first
not the Baja. No, it was the he was one of the top 5 riders. I can't remember his name. He was one of our UK's best at the time, but he came over and he was on one of the boards that it was a stock board. You could buy it as it was. And Evolve is the only company that brings something that you can't buy. And that's fine. But I don't think you should sell product to people knowing that you can't compete. That was a mistake. You could have done an Evolve only class and then an open class. Everyone would have been happy. That's what you need to do. And I think doing a standardized, and Evolve had enough presence in UK to do an Evolve only race. It would have been fine. And that way we'd see who the best riders were. But making DIY boards and hiding things is just not the way to go, in my opinion. I think it shows a little bit of lack of confidence sometimes. But I think Evolve have learned that. And one of the things I actually saw at ESK8 which was sick, talking about Evolve, is one of the riders had a GTR Bamboo twice and strapped it into a board with two remotes. So they had a GTR battery and the back with motors, and then inverted the motors with another battery strapped to the front, and they had two triggers, making it a DIY full drive board. It was insane.
Yeah, I've seen a few guys do this with the four-wheel drive, the DIY that way, and I think there's certain advantages to it, to having control of the front wheels and the rear wheels independently. But you've got to have good trigger control, haven't you?
I think the only board out there, and I'm going to plug it because I'm an ambassador, why not, is the only board that I've seen that actually does full drive correctly is this one, which I put in the thing here, which is the Bio board. Ungodly expensive, super ridiculous, crazy board. But having like the X-Way Atlas as a 12S4 in a full drive, having 7 miles range ain't enough. Even the Bio board has, like, when you're proper sending it, 18, 20 miles tops with a 16S6P, but it's just so energy inefficient. The Bio board it's just ridiculous. But that's the only company I've ever seen that does a board, a four-wheel drive properly, like no compromise, just let's just go mental on that board. But yeah, that's the one for me.
And they've been going a while, Bio, haven't they?
I think they were one of the first mainstream four-wheel drive boards ever been out there, so they know what they're talking about for sure.
Yeah, that's good to see companies with a bit of longevity as well, isn't it?
Yeah, that thing's ridiculous. I just got it back, actually. It's in the back room. I've got it in a box ready to go because I had to do some maintenance on it because I haven't ridden it in ages. So I had to get some maintenance done. But that thing will rip your legs off. It's ridiculous. It does like 0 to 30 in like 2 seconds and then goes up to like 50, 60 miles an hour. It's insane.
It's absolutely bananas. 2 seconds, isn't it? But back to the Lin Power, I think the higher one of those, that was touted at 2 seconds, wasn't it?
That thing's ridiculous. Like, yeah, let me remind myself of the stats because, like, the thing is about the Lin Power.
3.5 seconds. Yeah, I read 2 seconds for the quicker one, but I might be wrong.
Well, it's like 0 to 30 in like some stupid time, but it's just the problem we had about this board, and I did in my review, is there's so many things about this board that is unique and bespoke, from the wheels, the tires, the hubs, the gear drives, the motors, the deck, the enclosure. Everything about this board is new and exciting. And it's just like, I feel like Lin Power has just kind of gone, bring it on, let's see what we can actually do, and just gone absolutely guns blazing. So I think I would seriously, I haven't got one. Lin Power, send me a board, please, because I really want one. But the Lin Power, the one, for me, and I've said this multiple times now, I think it's the board of the year for price, performance, and living with the product in a form factor. Nothing touches it, from my opinion. Nothing at all. Yeah, I think it's gorgeous. What about you, James? What are you excited? What have you been excited about this year? What you've seen released this year so far, or what would you want to see more coverage on? I would like to say, actually.
I'm not sure, to be honest. You have to think a bit more on that one. To be honest, I'm just enjoying riding, getting out with friends, and just enjoying the vibe. You know.
So more events and stuff like that. More community stuff going on.
Keep people together. Whatever you're riding, whatever's in your feet, as long as you're having fun.
Exactly.
I'm good with that.
I think we're dealing with enough crap over here as it is with trying to ride out here sometimes to worry about what everyone's riding. I think. What about you? What's it like in Wales?
It's pretty sleepy and good, but I'm hearing a lot more people getting concerned. And of course, off-road is a big thing for that. You tend to stay away, don't you?
It's easy, yeah.
And we got the wonderful forest track by me, which is private land, which we ride weekly, you know. With the smooth path you came, didn't you, to Cumcarn before?
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah, I've got amazing coverage of that, and then seeing your little clown horn is hilarious every time. Always makes me tickle every time. But do you know what I said to Evolve actually about the Renegade, which I feel there's barely any coverage of? Is I would love to see. I proposed this to Evolve, and I'd love to see what the comments say. Is trying out the Evolve Renegade, which is a 12S4P mountain board by Evolve, but actually taking that battery off and putting the Stoke X battery back on it to make it a 12S2P board just for a pump track. Imagine having a board that weighs
Yeah.
nothing and you could just take it out and like send it on the pump track.
Yeah, absolutely. It'd be light, wouldn't it? Which would be help.
Oh,
I'm just reading Drew's comment here now. Yeah, definitely, Drew. We're gonna welcome you. Well, a nice warm welcome when you get here, my friend.
a
Yeah,
warm
that'd be a
Welsh
great
welcome.
idea. Yeah, if you come to Wales, it's pretty close to Gloucester, another country and only an hour away. Yeah, that'd be really good, Thomas. Light. One of my friends has got one in Wales, the Renegade. It's a pretty light board as a 4P, you know.
Yeah, I
So
proposed to them about looking at trying to see if they can get the Stoke X battery, because you could make that board like it's a light board anyway, but make it even lighter with a 12S2 just for like
yeah,
jumping and stuff. That would be loads of fun.
and you wouldn't need a lot of power, would you, on a pump track? You wouldn't need the
Exactly. It's
4P for
just
the
to go
amps,
around
you
the
know.
track again and again. So
Yeah,
it's like half an hour of fun, for sure.
yeah, that's it. We're hoping to do a ride with a Renegade back last year, but it didn't happen. So yeah, see more of that. That'd be cool. You were chatting earlier about possibly going to China to one of the
Yeah, so
events.
yeah,
Yeah,
so
tell us about
me
that.
and the Wolf Pack, which is me, Julia, Craig Taylor, and Transai and Scott Davies, were saying about actually we've done ESK8Con 3 years running, but mostly asking the audience, what would you think? Like, would you, if I gave you an option of seeing coverage at ESK8Con again, which is a sick event, it's great, or actually having the Wolfpack go to Shenzhen and go see the Eastgate companies and show about the manufacturing process and new stuff coming from China. I think it'd be a really good opportunity, especially from like a Western perspective. We don't actually have much coverage in the manufacturing element in China, but actually seeing the stuff being developed in-house and how it's made. One of my most favorite videos of all time was the actual GTR making video, and going when they went to China and they showed the trucks being made, the decks being made, and how does that go into the process. I think having an insight on how these things are made, because people don't comprehend how much R&D really goes into this stuff. It takes years and years to get everything together. So it'd be cool to see behind the scenes of things coming together, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'd be up for seeing that. So something different, isn't it? A bit unique,
Yeah,
interesting
definitely.
perspective on it.
Yeah, and it'd be great to see just see what's coming out years ahead of it coming out. I think like the early day stuff, I think would be really interesting to see. And also it'd be great. One thing that Meepo actually said for the likes of me, Drew, and Eastgate Unity with Fred was actually we're in a unique position where we try so many different boards and loads of different perspectives. There are little micro bits of feedback that actually allows to make products better. A lot of the time products change due to reviewers in our feedback with things we've tried over the years. So actually working alongside, I jokingly say it's half the time we're not even the reviewers, we're crash test dummies when they send us a product, and there's there's things that need to be tuned out as such.
Refined. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the stuff you don't see as reviewers. We're like, you need to change this before it goes to the public. So many products that
Break,
people don't. Yeah,
harsh breaks and different stuff. Yeah.
oh god, when me and Drew first tried the Rev skateboard, the new Phantom X, which is a 21S6P, which is insane,
Mm-hmm.
the brakes on it were dangerous, fundamentally dangerous, and the trucks were so loose they were once again fundamentally dangerous. So our feedback is really key actually for these companies. So when hundreds or thousands of these boards go out, when customers receive them, they're tuned in a way where it's set as a default. It's not going to fix everything, but it gives you a baseline where when you get out of the box, you're safe to ride. So I think it's really important that when we work with these companies, it's really important that we give that feedback and give that thing. Drew actually said this in one of his videos about one of I think it was the Nomad from Acetec. It was mode 1, 2, and 3 were very similar, but mode 4, which was everything unlocked, was just ridiculous. But the build up wasn't like it made sense.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things. What is my
Yeah.
favorite board and why? Ooh, I'm gonna take Suki's question actually. My favorite board for this year. I'm gonna do the last 3 years. My favorite board. Actually, I talk about this one a lot. A couple of years ago was this one. This is my Backfire Zealot. I love this board from 3 years ago. Got this one customed, which is from Yok, which is the best grip tape company in the world. Then last year, it would be the Propel Ruckus. because CNC trucks, the lights, the build quality is excellent. The ride feeling is amazing. The trucks feel amazing. And at one point, it was $1,000 for this board, which I thought was just so competitive. And just as an all rounder, and then finally, the for this year, it's got to be the Limb Power, the one. Even though it's $2,000, it's still a lot of money. But what you're getting is worth, in my opinion, $2,800, if not $3,000 worth of product. That thing is elevating the standard. And I said in my review, I think that board is going to shake up the e-skate scene, because making something of that high quality at that price point is going to make other companies sweat, because how can you compete with something that is that good at that price? Is insane.
Yeah, the only caveat on that, I did notice it's a reduction to 2,000, isn't it? Is it the regular price might be 2,500? I'm going to say. It
I
might
don't
be
think it
short
is.
term.
I don't know if it is actually. I think you. Let me have a look here. I'm gonna have a look myself, because I need to know. I need to know.
Yeah, you could buy one now if it's going to go up to 2,500, because
I
it's
don't think
worth
it
it at that
is.
price.
I don't think it is going up again, which is not good advertisement marketing. I think it's going to stay at that price. I think it's at two. Well, the thing is, I think. No, let's be honest. It's the Asian market way of marketing. It's always reduced by X amount, and it never changes. So I think it's staying around that price.
Stay.
Personally, it might go up. I don't know. Even
Yeah,
if it came $2,500, I know it's another $500. It's worth it.
yeah.
It's an incredible board. I think it's worth a $3,000, in my opinion.
As we said, it's evolved money, but a whole lot more board for the money.
Oh, it's stupid. You get so much board for your money. Like this is another thing as well. We talked about charging, and I one thing I promote a lot on my channel is talking about livability of a board. You can go with a stock charger, 0 to dead, in 2 hours, which is a really good number for charging. If you get the fast charger, which is 30 amps,
Wow,
it charges in like 40 minutes. It's disgusting.
crazy. That is crazy. But great for living with. That speeding and back at riding again, isn't it?
Oh, it's ridiculous. One thing I actually said about the sorry, let me just squeeze it. The Parsec, which is insane.
Yeah.
I said to you, like, you get the fast charger for that, 30 minutes. 30 minutes off you go. And the charger is not like massive, it's about this big. It's not unreasonable. It's a really good size.
You can pop it in your rucksack and take it with you.
You can put in your bag and it's non-invasive. That's what you want.
A lot of the charge times, I always think we should look at from 50% to 100 as well.
Yeah, that's a really good thing.
Fully down to zero.
You don't need it always to be 100. You don't need 100%, but like you say, 40 to 80% window. That's where you get the peak charging. Yeah, that's normally more than enough. But like that's it. Like, good point. She's saying that, James. That's the Parsec with the fast charger. That's 0 to 30. It's 30 minutes to 100%. Imagine 0 to like 60. It's going to be like 10 minutes. You know.
That's it. You can't do much in that time. People are going to be complaining they want longer breaks on group rides.
Exactly. You can literally grab a coffee and then off you go. I think that's one thing I don't think it's talked about enough in the e-skate scene, is living with your boards. And that's one thing I try and promote a lot. Having something that is quick to charge. The charger is a good size. You can take for a range of different things. You can't beat that. And I think that's what's really important. A bit like with the Tramper. Like, Trampers are great for dirt and off-road. Never clean the thing, and you just go out and you just go send it. You don't care about it. Everything has a place and a purpose. So I think one thing that's not talked about, there's not one size fits all, but there are some juggernauts coming out that are excellent at singular things nowadays.
Got you. I'm thinking about the revs now. I'm getting onto that. 21S, you said it was, wasn't it? That's crazy voltage, isn't it, for e-skate?
Oh my god! There's two boards coming out.
Did Callie ever get to 21? He was 20S, wasn't
he? Yeah. So the Callie,
XLR?
I can't think. XLR, yeah, was an 18S, and there was probably about 20S's out there. There was not many at all, because the problem is he got absolutely screwed by the multiple different things. He was screwed by COVID. He was screwed by his DIY builder who was doing his batteries. He was screwed by the ESC company he was using. And and all these boards, like absolutely, it was just getting hammered, which finally killed Cali. And I actually had the Cali XLR, and it was incredible. It's almost, I was compared it to like the Concorde of ESK8. It was beyond its time, and it was too ambitious at the time. But this Rev board for 21S is insane, and it's actually winning races in the Asian competitive market for a board that's so big and using technical racing is mad. And what's interesting, actually, which is not talked about much, which I didn't get much time to talk about with the Rev board as well, there were so many things to talk about, but the truck system, let me get the link for Suki, actually.
Drew was comparing it to a surf deck. Was it a surf track? It was that
I think that's slightly concealed. Sorry, Drew, I'm going to throw you under the bus a little bit. I think it can feel like that. It doesn't feel like that, and I think that's what's really important. It can be super supple, but it doesn't have to be. So you can crank it down to be tougher or super supple. When we got it out of the box, it was the loosest thing in the world, and it was way too supple, in my opinion. That's why it was like, hopefully they'll learn from that and release it in a harder compression. But what's interesting about the trucks on the Rev specifically, most bushings are this way. These ones are this way. So what's exactly simple ride, charge, repeat. What's interesting about the truck system is when I was doing my interview with Rev, the Rev bushings are not affected by rider weight because they're this way, the load doesn't affect the car. So, for example, if you're a super light rider or a heavier rider, your experience is the same. It doesn't make any difference, which I think is really impressive. It's very, very unique, and it's so supple. And the only other board I think that's coming out, which is worth mentioning, I think this is the only, in my opinion, new hyper long range board we've had in a while. It looks cool. It's so pretty. It's such a pretty board. It just, in my opinion, the shipping default needs to be improved from the review units that came out. They were too loose. They need to be tied up, but that's just feedback from us. I mean, that's why people like me and Drew are really important, because we can get these kinks out before thousands go out to the masses and cause problems, and they're dangerous, you know.
Turn the brakes down and tighten the trucks up then, by the sounds of it, isn't it?
Yeah. It's got quick swappable hubs. The tires are ironically a Cali XLR tires. They're exactly the same, actually.
I thought I recognised them.
Yeah, they're exactly the same.
I remember UNESCO came out to EBIT, didn't he? The last one, actually, 2 years ago. Bugs Borden, he was there.
It was his last thing he did, really. Yeah.
It was nice to actually meet him after.
Such a nice guy, wasn't he? Such a nice guy. Really nice guy. But do you know what's funny? I was helping him drive him around and stuff like that. And one of the things you don't realise is the questions that people send him. Like, I was sitting next to him in the car, driving him back to the airport, and a customer called him. I'm not going to name names, but he was like, "Yeah, my board's starting to feel a bit weird when I do 60 miles an hour on it." And he's like, "Why are you doing this with this board? Like, you can do this, but like, you just need to reel it in. It's just like, just because it can doesn't mean you should." The only other board I want to talk about, actually, as well, what was it called? I can't think what it's called. Is the Lofty. This thing. Have you seen the mountain board they're making?
Yes, I have, only briefly, not a great deal.
Let me get this link for Suki. This mountain board that they've teased. Oh my god, it's got like a million watt hour. Yeah, there it's called the Menace.
Wasn't it?
Jeez, look at this thing. This, where is it? It's 3,000 watt hours. 3,000 watt. It does 70 to 180 kilometers range on a charge on a board. That's disgusting. And it's 2,300 with the early bird back-in.
Very good price again.
That's what I mean. Like, it makes me disappointed with like the Western community being like, "Oh, these Chinese companies coming out of the boards." Like, the standard of what they're making nowadays is incredible. They're just, well, it is. A-Stack is a prime example. A-Stack have been making boards for other companies for years and years and years. And they thought, do you know what? Sod it. We're going to make our own board and then we're going to sell it. Why are we giving it to someone else to profit from? So they've had all these years to kind of develop their own products. And now they're like releasing their own boards. And they're the bollocks. They're great value, high quality, And all these boards are coming out are great. And like I say, UK, we need to step up again. We need to have likes of Tramper getting back into the community and listen to what everyone says, you know?
In fairness, they have been supporting the events that I've been chatting about lately. Bugs Gordon, who were helping with that, and again with Wielden. So they are doing their community stuff.
Yeah,
I'm
I would love
thinking
to
about
see
them.
Tramper going into. Sorry, one last thing, Joe. Just we were talking about
Yeah.
Tramper. I would love to Tramper to send their riders to international. Look at that thing; it's disgusting.
Yes, this is the one, isn't it?
3,000 watt hours.
That's a big battery, isn't it?
You don't need that.
That's my question. What's the furthest that you enjoy riding in one ride, Thomas? Personally, I know it's a personal question.
It's about 25 miles. Is a good ride. Is a
Yeah,
really good day. Really good day, I think, for me.
I'm happy 20-25 personally as well.
It depends what you're riding and what you're doing, of course. But
Yeah,
25 miles is a solid ride for sure.
yeah. So
I would love
some
to see
people.
Tramper send their riders internationally. I would love to see the likes of like Sonny or the Bryn brothers. Don't know if they're with MBS or whatever, but like Eamon from MBS now going to the States and competing on those things.
I think Sonny was meant to go to ESK8 last year, but he got injured just before riding
Oh,
regular
really?
mountain boards. Yeah. I think metatarsal might have been a Beckham injury. But
Oh,
yeah, he was meant to be going. Again, ESK8, they haven't got much off road out there, do they? Sadly.
No, but the wetlands which I did was like tarmac pump track. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That was brilliant. But even like you tell me, James, like taking a mountain board in an urban environment and navigating pavements and jumping off things and stuff like that, it's another way of riding. It doesn't have to be dirt, but it really does make a difference.
Being attached with bindings, you have got a jumping option, haven't you? Which not much else can do.
Exactly.
Our friend Yanda is big into the one wheels, and they're very capable off road, aren't they? If I want to ride on a beach,
I'm really happy with one wheels.
One wheel.
Oh my god! Talking about off roading, let me find you this thing while I'm thinking. 1 second. I get if there's any questions, like please answer why I find this. Let me try and find you this thing.
Thomas is getting excited.
Yeah, I am. I think it's on. Yeah, let me find this board. Rev made a very special kind of mountain electric skateboard. It's using the Phantom, but what they did is they tank tracks on it. It was sick. Where is this photo? I've got to find it. Oh, I'm not gonna. Oh, there it is. There it is. Where is it? Hold up. Right. Can I share this link directly? Yes, I can. Got it. Right. Here we go, Suki. Locked and loaded. Here we go. Rev made this thing. It's so stupid. There's a 4-wheel drive Rev board on tank tracks. It's a 21S6P Rev board on tank tracks. So you could literally circumnavigate anything. But it's still an electric skateboard.
They pop up every so often. None of the tank track idea. I see it online. You know, it's definitely interesting, isn't it?
Oh, hopefully it's okay. Turning.
Yeah, let's see this. Turning, I hear people.
Coasting would suck. Like, coast on this thing.
No, zero coast.
Oh my god! Please find this. Okay, it's so funny. Yeah, so they made like this. Yeah, bring it on down. There he goes. Go down. Look at this thing. Go down a little bit. Look at this thing. This thing's a tank. Literally a tank.
Wow.
How sick is this?
That's mad, isn't it? So adapters I can see, yeah.
How sick is that? Imagine taking that for like down the beach and just like
it would turn some heads, wouldn't it? Kind of
it literally is a tank. I feel like you need like an M6, like a minigun attached to the thing or something, you know. Take it into war.
Oh wow. Don't give the government's ideas. Did you see the stuff coming out of China a while ago? There was this ball that the police were using, which kind of rolled around the place and had all kinds of
That's insane.
Oh, that was a mad one. Might be a good one to finish on, Thomas. Unless you got anything else that's going on.
No,
share with us.
Anything else I want to share?
I don't know if we can top. I don't know if we can top that. I think
this is a good question. I mean, what is this question? She asked me this before. I try and understand. If in 115 years science fails to save us and always left a book about your life, what would your title of your book to be? Just did what I loved. I'd just say I did what I loved with the people that I loved. I think that's what I could say on that, really. You know, I've been I've always tried to chase things that I'm passionate about and I loved. And don't get me wrong, like I don't. It's years of hard work and grinding and effort and late nights editing and talking to people and driving to events and going up in all over the place to meet people. But I don't take it lightly, the opportunities I have to feature a product. The only reason why I did this in the first place was to educate and share something I found and I love to do. So you tell me, James, like driving back and forth to Wales for Cumquine forest rides and stuff like that. It's great and I love it, but it takes weekends, it takes days, and it costs money and it takes time. Effort and that stuff. And yes, it's hard, but I love it. So I think that's what people don't see behind the scenes. The amount of time it takes they just see the end results of like, oh, you get sent a board, great. It's taken me years to be trusted
I
to
dread
feature
to
stuff.
think how many hours it must take to edit the videos that you guys do on all the Wolfpack.
Yeah. Everyone has their own style and their own dynamics, and it's great. But like I say, the best footage and the best things we do is when we get to do it with people. And I don't take it lightly, and I'm very grateful for the opportunity to feature stuff. And I think my dream, like for my next stage, is hopefully to be part of the development process for companies. That's kind of what I would really be keen to do, to share my experience, share my journeys I've had to kind of help to improve boards and products for the next generation. I would love to see more someone who's ridden gigantic tank boards all for years, like lightweight consumer boards which are higher quality and accessible would be what I want to see more of this year. So like I would say the Parsec is not, I wouldn't say the bottom as in like the worst, but the most affordable, or the Limb Power Zenith, but like that would be like the entry level in relation to accessibility. And then if you want no holds bar, looking at something like the One in a competitive stage, or the MLR, having accessible boards that are just faster than you'll ever do and as more quality. And I'd love to see more stop and start group rides. Quick 8 miles, stop, grab a coffee, 30-minute charge, off you go again. Like the old boosted days, the humbling, like the mellow days, simple, going out, having adventures and socializing. You can't really talk to people very much at these group rides because you're too busy going the whole time. So things like that is what I'd love to see going forward. But that's what I like to see.
Sounds great, Tom. Exciting times ahead.
Mm-hmm.
We look forward to having you on the show again. I'll carry on.
I need to share one thing, and this is a secret. I need to, and I don't care. I'm going to leak this.
There's nobody listening.
That's fine. So I was talking to Eric from Meepo, and they were developing a suitcase. Him and his engineer were messing about doing a suitcase PEV. Eric, if you're watching this, I want you to send me one of these things when they're done. I want to see a Meepo suitcase board. I feel like we're missing these kind of things in the Eastgate scene, like just muck about and have a bit of fun. Like imagine traveling and being like, on your little suitcase with all your luggage.
Dead handy when you're traveling to the States and China and France.
I'd love it.
Isn't it? It'd be ideal.
And then we need to see a racing scene. Do like a racing event on luggage. That'd be hilarious.
Around an airport, I'm thinking.
Oh yeah,
racing around an airport. Yeah.
The last one to get kicked out wins.
yeah. So you see some of these boards being ridden in supermarkets and places. And
oh my god, yeah.
Be kicked out. Oh, It's been great having you on, Thomas. Lots of fun as always. I'm glad you're enjoying your skate journey. And
I'm loving my journey.
We wish you all the best and look forward to you having on the show again soon and get
a definitely update. Yeah, cool. And I'm really grateful to have you guys on board. And like I say, just one last thing for me, I'm really grateful that you guys are doing continuous podcasts. I know how much time and effort and work it goes into, so I'm glad that's going well for you guys. And if it can help in any way, let me know.